glad to be with you again. In this video, I'll be looking at the evolution of Fintech 1.0 into the future. Now, why am I doing this video? I had a discussion with a group of people all thinking that they know what Fintech is, and to my surprise, majority of people in that group didn't really understand, what Fintech is, and some even thought that the Fintech thing is something that is entirely new. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you that Fintech has been with us for a while, but it's evolving. There's a lot of innovation coming in with technological and advancement. So things are changing very fast. But I want to tell you that Fintech is not new. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing. So what about Fintech? In a very short statement, it is just the combination. Fintech is a combination of finance and technology. Finance and technology, basically, that's the combination, is so that people can get quick and convenient service. The normal brick wall of the bank is broken, and that's the intent. It's just you're bringing the financial services, or you're offering financial services through technology. That's all about Fintech. Now let's look at the journey of Fintech. I'm going to liken it to the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third industrial revolution, and the fourth industrial revolution. There's a school of thought that, we are now in the fifth industrial revolution. I know the argument is, there's argument for and against, but anyhow, technology is evolving, technology is changing, and it's changing very fast. The same thing with Fintech. So we have the Fintech 1.0. Basically, this is where the foundation for Fintech was laid. Then we have the 2.0. There were a lot of enhancements, a lot of changes, and we have the 3.0, where a lot of data, big data thinking into AI thinking into it. But there is this school of thought that we are now between the 3.5 and 4.0. Anyhow, the journey continues. Like I tell people, technology is never a destination. Technology is a journey. Let's look at the details of the Fintech 1.0 to 3.5. And I want you to stay till the end of this video, because I'm also going to be showing you the journey of Fintech in Nigeria. Okay, let's look at Fintech 1.0, which was actually between 1866 to 1967. This actually laid the foundation for the Fintech that we have today. In 1866, there was a launch of the first successful transatlantic telegram that enabled faster global communication for financial transactions. And even in the late 80s, we saw the introduction of early mechanical adding machine and telegram in banking. Then come 1918, we saw the Federal Reserve. They introduced the Fed wire fund services for electronic fund transfer. Then come the 50s, the Dana Club actually introduced the first universal credit card, and in 1958, the Bank of America launched the Bank America card. That's the normal credit card that we are, which today is now known as the Visa card. Then come 1960s, we saw the introduction of mainframe into banking operation. Mainframe are very large computer, they're not user friendly, and unlike the machines we're out today, but anyhow, they came in the 60s. Then came Fintech 2.0 from 1967 to 2008. It's actually what we call the digitalization of finance. In 1967, we saw the first ATM that was actually installed by Barclays Bank in London. That was in 1967. Then come 1970s, we saw a new protocol, a new standardization, which is called SWIFT, that the Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Communication, where banks can communicate seamlessly. Then come the 80s, we saw where you could buy your stock electronically, that stock trading online through a portal. Then come the 90s, we saw the proliferation of internet banking, for retail customer. Then 1998, PayPal actually launched the peer-to-peer digital payment system. Fintech 3.0 was actually from 2008 to 2014. In 2008, there was a global financial crisis and actually affected the trust of the traditional bank. So a lot of innovation had to come in. By 2009, we saw the Bitcoin come into play, the beginning of blockchain and cryptocurrency innovation technology. Then in the early 2010, we saw there was a surge of mobile payment solution and digital, within banks and for bank countries like Kenya and the UK. There was a lot of, mobile payment solution that came up, and then also in the early 20s, and fintech startup begin to focus on user experience using the mobile solution. Then that actually took us into what we assume to be the 3.5 fintech. Welcome to Fintech 3.5 or 4. That actually started in 2014 up to the present time. And let's look at some of the characteristics of 3.5. Now, one of the things is that we saw an expansion in the use of AI, big data, machine learning, fraud detection, and credit scoring. So we saw that there was an increase in that. Then we also saw that there was a raise in what you call embedded banking or embedded finance, where financial services are integrated directly into non-banking platform. We saw the growth of new banking and major challenges. These are banks without war, digital banking, absolute digital banking. Then we also have the decentralized finance, using the blockchain technology. Then it also has what we call the open banking, where the push is for customer-centric data. And it continued, we now have a rise in what we call the red tech, then insurtech and wealth tech. So these are how fintech has come from the 1.0 to where we are now. Again, I'm saying it is a journey, it's not a destination. Let's look at the journey of fintech. I'm just going to summarize it, a quick one. The journey of fintech in Nigeria. In 1989, we actually had the Societe Generale installed the first ATM machine in Nigeria. But the question is, where is the bank today? That's another, big question that I can't answer at the moment. But they started the ATM revolution in Nigeria in 1989. Then come 1991, First Bank tried to introduce their own ATM, which was called First Cash. But a lot of innovation came into the fintech business when InterSwitch actually make it possible to use one ATM card of a bank. That is one ATM card of a bank, and I can use it across banks. So that actually opened up a lot of opportunity in the fintech industry. I want to say thank you once again for watching this video. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I also want you to share. Thank you once again.